One of my favorite albums is celebrating its 35th anniversary this month, and it's Billy Joel's Stormfront. A lot of longtime fans don't like this album. I do. I think it's a great album myself. But you have to realize a lot of stuff was going on in Billy Joel's life. Just like the title, Stormfront, he was going through a storm. There was a turbulent time in his life. He fired and sued his longtime manager, Frank Weber, for extorting funds from him. For this project, he didn't go with longtime producer Phil Ramone. He went with foreigner Mick Jones. I'll get to that a little later. And he dismissed longtime band members Russell Javers and Doug Stegmeyer. So a lot of things were going on. A lot of fans were probably confused. Like I said, back in the day, when you changed the band, you changed the producer that you got accustomed to, a lot of fans would kind of push back and say, hey, we're not going along, we're not on board with this. And that's what I think happened here at first. There was a reluctance to this album. And I know a lot of people didn't like We Didn't Start the Fire because they saw it as a nursery rhyme for baby boomers. And maybe it is. But you know what? It's a catchy song, and how he put all that stuff together in historical, in order, I thought was fantastic. It's still a catchy song as all heck. I think a lot of people really had an issue with Mick Jones on board. Now, granted, I think Mick Jones is a great guitar player and a great producer. Look what he did with Foreigner. They have a slew of hits, platinum albums, great songs. I Want to Know What Love Is, Waiting for a Girl Like You, Urgent, Tooth and Nail, you name it. They got a slew of hits. I had no issue with this, but a lot of fans did. They saw it as he's now becoming arena rock, very 80s arena rock. I wouldn't go that far. It was arena rock, but he always was. And people going, oh, now he's doing rock songs. It's still rock and roll to me. Pressure, these are rock songs. So I didn't understand this backlash. I enjoyed this album. I think that's not her style. The Down Eastern Alexa, I Go to Extremes, Shameless, State of Grace. They're great songs. Of course, it's not an artist at his artistic peak or his creative peak, but it's an artist going through a troubled time and moving forward. And I have no issue with that. I thought there's some really strong songs on here. I didn't get the backlash. I looked for it. I like that he took a chance, took a different producer, changed his sound a little bit, because if we listen to the album before, The Bridge, there was something off. It didn't sound right. It didn't sound like a cohesive Billy Joel album. And this, I think, is a little bit better, in my opinion. So do yourself a favor. If you haven't heard about this album, go check it out. Forget about the naysayers saying this is arena rock. Billy Joel will always be arena rock. He's still doing tours and doing arenas. Arena rock. There you go. This is just a little harder hitting, a little bit more guitar oriented in some of the songs, but I see nothing wrong with that. You let me know what you think. I'll post a couple of songs down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. After 35 years, what do you think of this album? You still hate it? You like it? I'd like to hear from you. This is Steven from the Aroundtable with Billy Joel's Stormfront.